Hello, everyone. This is Nanette Kennedy with Humanities Team and the Evolution Revolution. Uh, this is going to be a much shorter call today than usual. We had all sorts of technological issues. Unbeknownst to any of us, we've never experienced this before. So anyway, we're reading Friendship with God by Neale Donald Walsch. And it's been so long ago that we discussed what page we were on. It. Is it 199 or something?
Yes, 199
Okay.
in the Kindle version.
Okay, and
200 in the book.
Okay, thank you. And what we're going to do is we're going to read for 15 minutes and then discuss for 15 minutes. And Shabana, since we're running so late, if you can do like a 10-second centering, and then we'll get going. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Right on the ball. We thank you, God, that we're on the call that is being recorded and that we're all eager to love and to hear you and to enjoy this reading. Amen.
Without further ado, Linda, would you like to get started?
Okay, hang on a second.
Thank you, Shabana. What chapter is it?
It's chapter 9.
Chapter 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this is Neale speaking. Nothing is evil, lest thinking make it so. Precisely. So every once in a while, it might be good to stop thinking altogether, to get in touch with a higher reality, to pop out of the illusion. How can I stop thinking? It seems like I'm always thinking. I'm even thinking about this. If everybody could mute themselves, it would be helpful. It's really noisy in the background, hard to read over it. Okay, first, be quiet. By the way, notice I said be quiet. I didn't say think quiet. Oh, that's good. That's very good. Okay, now, after being quiet for a while, you'll notice that your thinking at least slows down a bit. It starts to simmer down. Now, start thinking about what you're thinking about. What's that? You heard me. Start thinking about where your thoughts are going. Then, stop your thoughts from going there. Focus your thoughts. Think about what you're thinking about. This is the first step towards mastery. Whoa, this is blowing my mind. Exactly. No, that's not what I meant. Yes, it is. You just didn't know it. This really is blowing your mind. What is it that you humans say, let's blow this joint? Well, now you're going to blow your mind. That is, you're going to leave it. Now, when people see you in this state of mindlessness, they may very well ask, have you taken leave of your senses? And you can answer, yes, isn't it great? Because your mind is your sensory input analyzer, and you've stopped analyzing all the incoming data. You've stopped thinking about it. Instead, you're thinking about what you're thinking about. You're beginning to focus your thoughts, and soon you will focus your thoughts on nothing at all. How can you focus on nothing? First, focus on something in particular. You can't focus on nothing until you first focus on something. Part of the problem here is that the mind is almost always focused on many things. It is receiving input data from 100 different sources at all times, and it is analyzing this data faster than the speed of light, sending you information about yourself and what is happening to you and around you. To focus on nothing you have to stop all this mental noise. You have to control it, limit it, and ultimately eliminate it. You want to focus on nothing, but first, you have to focus on something in particular rather than everything at once. So make it simple, something simple. You can start with the flickering of a candle. Look at the candle, look at the flame, see what you notice about it. Stare deeply into it. Be the flame. Don't think about it, be with it. After a bit, your eyes will want to close. They will become heavy, fuzzy. Is this self-hypnosis? Try to avoid labels. You see, you're doing it again. You're thinking about this. You're analyzing it and wanting to give it a name. Thinking about something stops you from just being with it. When you do this, don't just think about it. Just be with the experience. Okay. Now, when it feels like you want to close your eyes, just close them. Don't think about it. Just let them fall shut by themselves. They'll do this quite naturally if you don't fight them to keep them open. You are now limiting your sensory input. This is good. Now begin listening to your breathing. Focus on your breath. Especially listen to your breathing in. Listening to yourself stops you from listening to everything else. This is when great ideas come. When you listen to your inner breath, you are listening to your inspiration. Oh my God, how do you do that? How do you keep coming up with stuff like that? Shh, be quiet. Stop thinking about this. Now, focus your inner vision. For once you have inspiration, it will bring you great insight. Focus this insight on the space in the middle of your forehead, just above your eyes. The so-called third eye? Yes. Place your attention there. Look deeply there. Don't look expecting to see something. Look at the nothing, at the no thing. Be with the darkness. Do not strive to see anything else. Relax and be content with the peace of emptiness. Empty is good. Creation cannot come except into the void. Enjoy then the emptiness. Expect nothing more. Want nothing more. Well, what do we do with all the thoughts that keep popping up? Most people are lucky to get 3 seconds of emptiness. Could you address the issue of all the constant thoughts that keep popping up, especially for the beginner? Beginners are very frustrated over why they can't silence the mind and get the nothingness you're talking about. This may be a piece of cake for you, but it sure isn't for most of us. You're thinking about this again. I invite you to stop thinking about this. Keep your mind, if your mind keeps filling with thoughts, just watch that. Make that okay. As the thoughts pop in, just step back and observe that this is happening. Don't think about it, just notice it. Don't think about what you're thinking about. Just step back and notice. Don't judge it. Don't get frustrated by it. Don't start talking to yourself about it. Like, well, here we go again. All I get is thoughts. When do I get to see the nothingness? You can't get to nothingness by continually complaining that you are not there yet. When a thought pops in, some extraneous thought about nothing in particular, having nothing to do with the moment, just notice that. Notice that and bless it and make it a part of the experience. Don't dwell on it. It's part of the passing parade. Let it pass. Do the same thing with feelings or sounds. You may notice that you never hear as many sounds as when you are trying to experience total stillness. You may notice that you never have as much trouble feeling comfortable as when you are trying to sit totally comfortably. Just notice this. Step back one level and watch yourself noticing this. Include all of this as a part of your experience, but don't dwell on it. It's part of the passing parade. Let it pass. Like the question you just asked now. It's just a question you had. It's a thought that popped in. It's part of the passing parade. Let it pass. Don't try to answer it. Don't try to solve it. Don't try to figure it out. Then let it pass. Just let it be there. Let it be a part of that passing parade. Notice that there's nothing you have to do about it. In this, you will find great peace. What a relief. Nothing to want, nothing to do, nothing to be, except exactly what you are being right now. Let go. Let it be. But keep looking. Not anxiously, but expectantly. Just keeping a general watch. Needing to see nothing, ready to see anything. Now, the first time you do this, or the 10th time, or maybe the 100th or the 1000th time you do this, you may see what will look like a flickering blue flame or a dancing light. It may appear in flashes at first and then steady itself in your sight. Stay with it. Move into it. If you feel yourself merging with it, let that happen. If nothing happens, nothing more will have to be said to you. Well, what is this blue flame, this dancing light? It's you. It's the center of your soul. It is that which surrounds you, moves through you, is you. Say hello to your soul. You've just found it at last. You've just experienced it at last. If you merge with it, if you become one with it, you will know a sublime fullness of joy that you will call bliss. You will discover that the essence of your soul is the essence of me. You will have become one with me. For just a moment, perhaps, for only a nanosecond, but that will be enough. After that, nothing else will matter. Nothing will ever be the same again, and nothing in your physical world will match it. This is when you will discover that you need nothing and no one outside of yourself. That seems a little scary at some level. You mean I won't want to be with anyone else ever again? I won't want to love anyone because they can't possibly give me what I've found within? I did not say that you would never love anyone or anything outside of yourself. I said you would never need anyone or anything outside of yourself. I will say it again. Love and need are not the same thing. If you truly have the experience of inner oneness that I have described, the result will be just the opposite of what you fear. Far from not wanting to be with anyone, you will want to be with everyone, but now, for the first time, for an entirely different reason. No longer will you seek to be with others, to get something from them. Now you will yearn to give something to them, for you will desire with all your heart to share with them the experience that you have found within, the experience of oneness. You will seek this experience of oneness with everyone because you will know that it is the truth of your being, and you will want to know this truth in your own experience. This is when you will become dangerous. You will fall in love with everyone. Yes, and that is dangerous because we humans have created a life in which feeling oneness with everyone all of the time gets us into trouble. Yet you now also know the causes so that you can avoid all of this. Shall I stop here? It's been 15 minutes.
Yes, go ahead. I'm still trying to get a hold of Anne.
Keep reading?
No, go ahead and start discussing, but I'm
okay.
trying to get a hold of Anne.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Does anybody want to discuss it? Is everybody muted?
Oh. I just connected with the blue flame part. I see that a lot when I'm meditating and even when I'm not meditating. I see spots of blue. I always thought that was God or a spirit.
Well, according to this, it's your soul.
I see that a lot when I've been realized too, is when it started. It started in 2014 for me. I noticed though that when I'm emotional or thinking about something deeply is when it happens. Just an observation. But I get flashes. They're purple. It's not really blue. It's like more like a purple. Did anyone else have that experience before?
I was just reading about it just now before the call started.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very powerful experience of your soul and of union with God.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how God shows up.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you do.
That's what I just said. I always thought it was God. So it is God.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I get messages this way too. And sometimes they're right. A lot of times they're right. A couple months later,
there you go.
and it'll be right. I'll get a message like that and I'll see a blue, purple, more like purple, deep purple. And then I'll think about it and write it down sometimes because it's so powerful. And then a couple months later, someone will say something in passing or in a conversation or something. I said, I thought about that a month ago. I knew that was true a month ago. It happens a lot now since I've been realized. I was realized, and that's when I started writing my book, 2014, out of Pennsylvania. But it's an awesome experience. I've never had it. I mean, I don't remember having that. I remember talking to God when I was a girl and stuff, and I didn't have that until I was older. Just, a couple years ago, 2 years ago. But it's really an enlightenment experience, I guess. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's just it's so shocking, and then it turns out you're right about these things when you get these messages. And I've always said that from God, that they want to throw me back in the retreat every time I say that. You're not having conversations with God. You want to go back to the mental hospital. You're not on your meds, right? So this is, so I don't talk about it. I'm silent about it most of the time because it's scary, number one, but I'm getting used to it because it happens a lot. But when you say these things to your friends or family, they think, oh, Kirsten's off her meds, and I was for a time. So, but that's really neat. I'm glad. And I don't read the book. Like I said, I don't read this beforehand. I open it when we have book group, but I really resonated with that because it happens. It's happening to me now. Not right this second, but thank you.
Just think of all the people in mental institutions that don't really belong there.
I know. There's millions. I met a lot of them. Just kidding.
No, when I was in high school, I volunteered at a mental hospital, and I actually had to stop volunteering because it made me so crazy. Because I knew these people that were walking around in these delusional states. I knew that they were not crazy.
Yep. And I was a mental health counselor at this same hospital where I've been to at least 3 times. I was a counselor there. I worked there. I was a mental health counselor. I had case kids in case, so I had to follow them. So I definitely shouldn't be there. Any of those times I went, I should not have been there. They said I was psychotic. I'm bipolar or psychotic. I don't agree with that.
I don't
It's a
either.
label.
I'm glad that Linda shared what she did. Thank you, Linda.
Yes, thank you, Linda.
Oh, you're welcome.
Neat. So it's a part of oneness, though, right? You're one with your soul when this is happening, Linda.
Yes.
Mm.
Wow. Neat. See, it just could become realized right now, right this second during book group. All this came together for me. I was like, that's what's been happening for years. I didn't know. I didn't get it. You know, but I did get it because I always thought it was God doing that when I saw the purple flashes. And it doesn't have to be. It can be a dark room when this happens. I can be in bed and it can be totally dark and I have no lights on, and I'll just see flashes. I mean, not flashes, dots, like purple dots all over in my vision, and then I get blurry vision for a while until it subsides. But it's really neat experience. It's really cool. I didn't know that was oneness. I really didn't. I didn't get it. That's really neat. This is really great. I'm glad we did this today. I'm glad we were able to do this today with all the technical difficulties. Thank you. I love you all so much.
I apologize, Linda, for answering for you. Please forgive me. Would you like to answer that question?
No, you did a great job, Shabana.
No, good.
You
Both
did a
of you
great
did.
job.
Yeah, I'm going to change my name to Linda Lapp. You can be Shabana.
She's your twin.
Well, I was just going to add that I was half listening, half panicking because I couldn't get anything to work here. I did get in touch with Anne. I gave her the phone number, but she didn't show up. So, and I don't know if I was listening to the thing with the oneness and the light, and there's a program on Netflix right now, very controversial. It's called 13 Reasons, and it's about the suicide of a high school student and how the kids all come together, and oneness keeps popping up, and they have a graphic where with one person saying something to someone, and then that someone saying that something to another someone, and how it all spreads out, and then the kids come up with the idea that we're all connected, even through shared experience.
Neat.
And it's a pretty heavy duty show, so I don't highly recommend it, but there's a lot of philosophy in it. It's very compelling for the times which we live, because it deals with teen suicide, school shootings, and it's a drama. It's not a documentary.
It's not.
No, and it's gotten so much praise and criticism because it's so intense that they put all these warnings around it that say you're going to see teen rape. And it's not that graphic. It's suggestive. You're going to see drug abuse. You're going to see this. And the whole thing is, what they want to do is get kids to be able to talk to each other. I think in this, pulling this back to what was just read that I was half listening to, I think it's really important in the climate in which we live that we do listen to kids and what they have to say. Anybody, adults and kids. You know, sometimes it could be a cry for help and you don't know it. Sometimes it can be drama, but there's no way of knowing those things. Anyway, I think the oneness comes in to play a very important part. Over.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
I wanted to touch also on the idea of controlling our thoughts, because that's really, even before we get to the exercise that he suggests, this idea of getting a focus and trying to control what's happening in our heads. I have found personally to be, in fact, in 2000, I think it was in 2007, I made a conscious decision that I wasn't going to think about anything without thinking about what I was thinking about. Like, I wasn't going to just let my mind go off on the way it is, the way it typically would be, with all the, like God said in this, you're thinking about multiple things at once, typically. The unfiltered mind, the controlled mind. And in 2007, that's when I memorized my, as I call them, the famous 10 words. And pretty much decided that if I wasn't actually speaking to someone, reading, having a conversation, that in my downtime, rather than whatever would be going on, I would specifically think a thought. And those 10 words are: I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. And
say it again, please.
Sure. I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. And that actually is lifted from The Secret. She had that in The Secret. Rhonda Byrne did as an affirmation. And so I'm. This is one of my real key things, I think, in life, is that we need to get control of what's going on in our thoughts.
Can you type that in the chat window?
Oh, sure.
After the morning I've had, I feel like I could be saying that for the rest of the day.
Really? Exactly. Right on.
Because
Sure.
I left out the part where my doorbell rang 5 times with 5 different kids wanting to come into the house and play.
When you're setting up Zoom?
No, when I got it set up, and then there was all these other interruptions, and my sister's dog died. It was like,
oh no,
it was
sorry
just,
to hear that.
Yeah. He went peacefully, but it was just one of those, oh my God, maybe this call isn't supposed to happen today.
Really? I'm glad it did, though.
Yep, I am
got
too.
Some new information.
Perseverance.
Yes. Great multitasker.
Linda, can I ask you, when you say those words, is this continuously say them?
Yep. Yeah, I'm like a chatty Cathy that you pulled the string and it broke. Like, I'll be laying in bed. If I wake up in the middle of the night, and now I have to say that the last couple of nights I've had some really, it's been, things are just really intense here, and intense and disrupted. And so the last couple of nights, it's been a challenge, because typically when I wake up, that's the first thing that just comes into my head, and it just plays until I fall back asleep again. And the last couple of nights, it's actually been challenging to stay focused.
Some words that I use that come from CWG are totally joyful, loving, accepting, blessing, and grateful. They're not words that I would sort of continually repeat to myself, but they are words that I will remind myself of and say to myself on many occasions.
Why don't you put that?
Yeah,
too.
Say again?
Biba, we can't hear you.
She said put that in the chat box.
Oh, okay.
Angela.
What, the words I said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right, sure, yeah. They come from CWG. Joyful, loving, accepting, blessing, and grateful. I forget where they are. I think they might be in book 3 or something. Or maybe in one of the others. I'm not sure now.
Thank you for that. And it's too bad Bima cannot be heard. Bima, please type in chat window, as we cannot hear you. This has just been a very challenging day. Biba hung up. Oh, God.
Aw.
All right.
Well, it is 11, so she may have had to go too.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. Well, you guys, really sorry for all the technological gradu.
are we going to keep this new? Will this be the new
format?
meeting number? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Can we hear you now?
Yes.
There she's back.
Oh, she's
Can
back.
you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
I had to cut it all down and start it again.
No.
Okay, did I interrupt anyone? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I love these readings. I really sink into it, and it's such a mirror because, as you know, I am a deep meditator since since a long time back in my life, and have been a meditation teacher, and I have done very similar meditations with children, with elderly people, and with drug addict rehabilitation home and in schools. So, and I have been also done these listening circles where everyone share what they experience, everyone is listened to. So it's so good to get this acknowledgement in a way that it is important, and even take myself to, because sometimes I can feel that I don't know what to do in my life because I'm too much alone in a way. I'm not involved in the same way I has been, but I enjoy to be with you, and I feel that I can share this deeper insight. And especially one thing that came up to me again, I think I maybe have mentioned it before, but it came up to me when I think I was 26, and I got a question about, remember the first time I could remember, and I came to this stillness before anything it was just, oh, that's me, that's everyone, that's everything. It's just a stillness point, and to be reminded of that point is so beautiful. So I really love, this is a very, very good book.
Very.
And to be listening to it, it's beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for dialing back in, because I was just going to make an announcement to something Linda said. Linda, yes, we're going to try this new format because everybody agreed on the week that you weren't here, and it wasn't Mother's Day because we didn't meet. But the week Angela read, that it's far more productive to read for half the hour and discuss, because we've usually all forgotten it by the next week. So it just...
Yeah, I wasn't asking about that. I was asking about the number, the Zoom number.
Oh, no. I will send you all a new Zoom room, as it were. In fact, I'm going to try an experiment and see. I will let you all know.
Okay.
Just be assured of that. And it's not this number, because what I did for this meeting is I just did it's called an instant meeting. You don't set it up. You just... and so it will not be the same number. So I will be in touch with you all about the same number. And
can I ask you a question on that?
Yep.
Can you put it in the Google Calendar, the updated one? That's how I got in here today. The Google Calendar that you invite us in with Hangouts.
Yeah, so Nanette, that's the way to do it. When you go into Zoom, there's an option to add it to a Google Calendar, and then from there, within the Google Calendar, you can put everybody's email addresses in and invite them.
Yes, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I got in here today. That's not how I got in here before. It's the first time I did it.
Yeah. Because the advantage to that is it actually shows up on their calendar too.
Correct.
Right.
Like it shows up as an invite, and then if they say yes, it populates.
Yep.
Right.
So it's there.
That's how I do it.
I shall do that. And we'll just take it from there. Okay. Love you all.
Love you
All right. See you next week.
Bye.
Happy
Thank you, everyone.
technology. Bye-bye.
Love, love, love.
Lots of love.
Love.